Good afternoon, beautiful, powerful women out there on social media. I want to thank you for taking out the time to listen to Tea Time with Tammy. I hope this video finds you well and in good spirit. Thank you once again. I want to thank everyone who listens to the videos and who share the video, because my desire is to be a help to someone or many people. But if I just help one person, I have done my job. So I'm very thankful for that. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get started on the Power Shot segment for this week. And it's basically the continuation of what we've been talking about last week, which is, what legacy are you leaving? What's going to be said about you when you expire? And from that, I implemented a book that I'm using as a reference point as to leaving positive legacies. And the name of that book is called Contributions of Black Women to America. And the first person I used was the editor of this book. Her name is Miss Marianna W. Davis. Excuse me. This is the second volume of this book. She's the editor of the first volume and the second volume, as well as she has written several books, and she was a professor in education and English. So I'm very thankful for Miss Marianna paving the way so a person such as myself can see what Black women have done in the past. And you all, as I read this book, I get more and more encouraged. I'm beyond being inspired. I'm beyond motivated. I am encouraged, because these are Black women, and they made a trademark in this world when it was hard. When Black people was just treated so dogmatic, and they made a trademark. They left a mark. So I'm thankful for her. The next person we looked at, excuse me, I got to turn my notes here. The next person we looked at was Miss Hattie Liston. And now Miss Hattie Liston was the first Black woman back in 1970 to practice psychology in North Carolina. The first Black woman to practice psychology in the Carolinas in 1970. She was also the author of a booklet called How to Study and Learn, which I need to get my hands on. This book was utilized in the high schools as well as colleges. This is a Black woman. The third person we looked at was Miss Marva. I love Miss Marva, y'all. Miss Marva created her own school on the poor side of Chicago, the west side of Chicago, and it was called West Side Preparatory School, and it was a private school for grades K through 6. I love Miss Marva, and because I would hang out with Miss Marva. I really would. Even from the book, I felt like a connection with her. I would want to be her friend. So anyway, not only did she build her own school, but she did not take funds from the government to teach the children. And she said, I do not expect society to teach these children. Basically, women, it's our responsibility to teach our children. It's our responsibility to teach our children. So from that, we're going to go ahead and move on to the next person who left a wonderful, and that's an understatement, contribution in the science department. Now, ladies, I am not a fan of science, but after reading this lady's bio, I respect science. Science don't interest me. I'm thankful for the things that they come up with as they're, doing their researching. But as far as just me being a brainiac, as far as science, that's not me. But I can respect it. Now, this lady, she was like the A1 person in the science department. Her name is Miss Jewel Plummer Cobb. Miss Jewel started her education journey at 17. She did her freshman year at Michigan State University. She left there because back then they only wanted all the black students to live in one house, and she wasn't having it, so she went to another college. She was a cell physiologist researcher. Not only was she a scientist, a great scientist, but she was also an educator in science. She was awarded many funds to continue her research. And then, y'all, Miss Jewel was known internationally for her published research paper on cancer. Did you hear me what I said? Internationally, not nationally, known in United States. I mean, she was known in the United States and she was known in different countries. So that says to me, she must have been knowing what she was talking about. She must have knew her stuff because they know her for her published research paper on cancer. This is a black woman. And I'm not trying to make this about a black and white thing, but my God, you can't help it. This is a black woman who has all kind of degrees, who has all kind of, she was dean of colleges at several different colleges. And then not only that, y'all, she's beautiful. If you can see that, I hope y'all can see that. She's beautiful. So you cannot tell me beauty and brains cannot coexist in the same individual. Now, ladies, I'm going to take a little break right here and give y'all some Tammyism one-on-one. Look here. If you're a beautiful black woman and you know you're smart, you're an intelligent black woman, don't you dummy yourself down for your friends. And definitely don't you dummy yourself down for no man to make him feel better about himself. Because you know what? The age that we're living in now, nobody should be walking around here dumb. Because we have information at our fingertips. You can pull all kind of information from your phone to learn. So don't you dummy yourself down. Don't do that to make somebody else feel better. That's their problem if they feel intimidated by your intelligence. That ain't your problem. That's their problem. Okay, I'm gonna leave that alone and get back on Miss Jewel. Miss Jewel, now let me tell y'all what she specialized in. This was back in the 1950s. She specialized in vitro. A black woman. Now, I don't know if y'all understand what in vitro is, and maybe you do, but I'm going to just break it down to, in my layman's terms, or in the term. Basically, in vitro is the research of growing organisms outside of their natural environment. And that was her special interest. In vitro. She also studied pigmented cell growth because she researched skin cancer, and so she was studying the melanin that's in our skin as well, as a way to treat persons with that type of cancer. A black woman, y'all, who was good at what she did. She was good at what she did. And as I was reading her bio, she was determined because, again, 17 years old, freshman at the University of Michigan. You know she excelled in high school. You know she surpassed all her classmates. And then not only that, her research is extensive. She was offered so many different opportunities as far as the meeting her goals, whatever her personal goals were. But the woman was smart. Genius, I would even say. A black woman. Now, how did we go from women like Miss, excuse me, how do we go from women like Miss Jewel to Peaches? No offense to anybody who nickname is Peaches. Y'all, we as black women got to get it together. Yes, I know we wear a lot of hats, but you know what? We was built for it. We was built for it. We are so powerful that it has people changing their body parts to be like us. Everybody recognize our power except us. Recognize your power. Recognize your strength. Find your niche and leave a positive legacy behind so your children and your children's children can say, hey, my grandmama did this, or my great-grandmother did this. We have got to do better, ladies. We have got to do so much better. We have got to do so much better. We have to raise the bar, ladies. And I'm not talking about this pseudo-sophisticated success that y'all see on the reality shows. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about some real hardcore success, like what these women did in this book. Real hardcore legacy. I mean, leaving something. Okay. I'm getting on a tangent. I'm sorry. I'm getting on a tangent. But I'm going to say this because I feel it needs to be said. And this is just some Tammyism 101. Let me tell you something. If you find yourself where you are maybe not the smartest person, or your reading level is not where at a college level or whatever, don't beat yourself up because of that. No. If you find yourself reading at a 4th grade level, so you get you some 4th grade level books and you read, because reading is fundamental. Reading makes you smart. And then I will add to this, as you grow in your reading, my English professor told me this, and I've been doing it ever since. Have you a pen and paper and a dictionary when you read and you come across words that you cannot pronounce and that you never heard of? You look it up, you write it down, and bam, you done added a new word to your vocabulary. You done expanded your vocabulary. And now you don't have to use sentence stuffers to express yourself. And what I mean by sentence stuffers, cuss words. People cuss because their vocabulary is limited. That's my Tammyism 101. But ladies, I hope and pray that you all take something from this video. I hope that you guys become encouraged, such as myself. I'm telling you, as I'm reading this, and it is just encouraging me to push further for my nonprofit organization called Flowers in the Attic, where we are growing beyond mistakes, hurt, and pain. I mentor young ladies from the ages 13 through 17. I mean, I cannot even express the power that I feel that comes off these pages from these women who have endured. And then not only that, back then they did us dirty in the science world. Real dirty. First of all, it was only 3% of us, and then out of that 3% it was maybe like one woman or 2 women in the classroom. And then, but I look at it like this: we may not have been in the grandstand and the grand numbers like the thousands and things like that, like our white brothers and sisters, but we were still in a number and we excelled. Ladies, you are more powerful than you know. I need you to begin some kind of way, tap into that power and come out of this darn sleepiness that we in. because you are enslaved to your mind. And that's all I'm going to say. I'm going to go ahead and close out the video because my goal is to be 15 minutes and I'm already at 15 minutes and 12 seconds. So ladies, I thank you once again for listening to Tea Time with Tammy. If you find yourself where you are in need of prayer, you may email me, put in the subject box prayer request at ttwt1620 at gmail.com. Ladies, I pray you have a blessed and wonderful day. Thank you for listening again to Tea Time with Tammy. I love you and know that God loves you more. Have a great day.